Now the rest of this section on linear measurement is really going to focus on those units of measure. So in those last problems, I've been looking at meters and centimeters. Now we want to really talk about what it means to be part of both the metric system and then the English system. So we're first going to start looking at the metric system. Now I put some videos up to kind of help you kind of visualize what these units kind of look like in real life to help a little bit. But I'm also going to quickly go over them. So give the little song videos a try. Look through those because I think they definitely help you visualize what each one of them is here. So I'm actually going to type these. So the first we have a kilometer, or some people say a kilometer. Next we have a hectometer. We don't use hectometers a lot, but sometimes you might have heard of somebody talking about a hectacre. Then we have a decameter. I'm actually going to come out here and write out their notation because deca is kind of weird. We actually have two that are going to start with D. So deca is going to start with DK for its abbreviation. That's going to be really important because the other guy kind of has a special role as we go along through the class. So it's going to get to be the D. Next we have our just plain meter. So we're going to call that one M. Then we have, here's my other D, a decimeter. A decimeter is smaller than a meter. Notice this is going to be the one that's D. So a lot of times I get people ask me, how do I know which one it is? You know because I'm telling you right now that DM means decimeter. DKM means decameter. So that's how you're going to know. Centimeter, this is one we're used to. We use a lot, is CM. A centimeter is smaller than a meter. Or you might know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. And then our smallest unit that we're going to look at is a millimeter. So there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter. There are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Now this metric system is base 10 because we created it after we were all using base 10 system. It used to be that every little country had its own system of measurement and they might use different units, and that was really confusing. So the metric system was created by a science society, so we would all use a standardized unit. And so they created it, so since we were using base 10, they based it off of that. So as we go up and down the scale, we're going to be using our base system. So our tens place, our hundreds place, our thousands place, our 10,000s place. Those place values, because like I said, this is a base 10 system. There are lots of different ways to memorize this. The one that I remembered, kind of the famous one, is King Henry died Monday drinking chocolate milk. Like using each first letter, the K for King, H for Henry. That sounds really morbid. So you might have a better one. That's just the one that I remembered using. So once we have this metric system, we are going to use it to convert. So I'm actually going to bring this guy down here so we can see a little bit more with our problems here. Now you have to show work. Here we go. I'm telling you, you must show work. You cannot just move the decimal place. I'm going to make you show me work on this. If you're taking something like a quiz or an exam in my math lab, you're going to have to upload work for me. If you're taking it by paper, pencil, hand quiz, or test in class, you're going to have to show work for this. So work is required. I don't want you to see you just like bloop over the decimal place because you can't do that as a teacher. You have to show your work to your students. So you have to show your work to me because right now I'm going to act as your student. So here's our first one. We're starting with kilometers and we're going to meters. Well, kilometers are bigger, so they're my big unit, than meters. In this case, meters is small. Kilometers is higher up than meters. So I'm going from big to small. So I'm going to multiply because 1 kilometer is a whole bunch of meters. It's 1,000 of them to be exact. So I'm going to take one thing and I'm going to make it huge. So I'm going to be multiplying. So I'm going to say, it's probably easiest actually to type this. This is 1.4 times, because I'm multiplying. If I look up here, meters to kilometers, remember base 10. So we're going to use our place values. So tens, hundreds, 1,000. I'm going to count my place values. So 1.4 times 1,000 is equal to 1,400. And that's the answer. So you need to show And there's lots of different ways to show work. You might remember from another class a different way to show work, and that is perfectly fine. This is just the way that I'm choosing to show right now in this video. It is not the only way. It is just one of many. If you took a chemistry class, you might have a more like advanced way, and that is perfectly fine. I love it. Just keep that. You don't have to change to fit me. You just have to show work somehow. All right, so I'm actually going to skip down here to this C down here. So we're going to go from centimeters. The DM I know is decimeters because I'm defining it to be that way. So centimeters is smaller than decimeters because see it comes below. So this guy is going from small to big. So I'm going to be dividing. So I'm going to type that out. So I'm going to have 6.7 and I'm going to divide that by, that's going to be my little symbol for division. I'll write it out with a division symbol in just a second. Centimeters to decimeters, that's only one place value, so 10. So that's going to be equal to 0.67. Let me write that out by hand so you can see like the division. Some people like that better than what I can do on the computer screen here. So a lot of people like to see it written like this. And I like that work too. So 6.7 divided by 10. So pause the video, see if you can try the remaining two, and then we'll come back and go over them. All right, so let's go over these two. Kilometers is big, centimeters is small, and there are a huge difference between these guys. So I'm going to be multiplying, and from centimeters all the way up to kilometers. Again, count your place values. Tens place, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000. So that's what I'm going to be using here. So 0.03 times 100,000. Let's see if I've got. So that's going to give me 3,000 as my answer. Coming back down here to this guy. Millimeters is small compared to hectometers. So this is going to be small to big. So I'm going to divide. Again, counting my place values. Tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, 10,000, 100,000. So it happens to be 100,000 again. So I'm going to do 0.89 divided by 100,000. Let's see. And that's going to give you a crazy decimal. Your calculator might give you scientific notation. The computer doesn't really like that. So let me write it out by hand and show you. So divided by 100. Wish I chose one with less zeros. 100,000. Make sure you know that's a point. And that's actually going to give me 0.00000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 9. So your calculator might have given you scientific notation on this one. It might say something like e to the -5. Remember, that means move the decimal place to the left 5 spots. So kind of depending, or I guess this one might have given you -6 with the decimal place. So just make sure and move that decimal place over as many places as it says.